Hello students, today we're going to do a Flipgrid. Okay, and our Flipgrid today is going to be over mean absolute deviation. So you're going to need your Chromebooks, you're going to need a sheet of paper, or you're going to need an open Google Doc. So first what I'd like for us to do is I want us to review how to find mean absolute deviation. So here's our warm-up question for today. Pause the video, and what I want you to do is find the mean absolute deviation of the following set of data. Round the mean to the nearest tenth. Okay, so pause the video and answer that question. Okay, so let's find out how you did. First off, we need to review how we find this. And this is what you're going to be working on your Flipgrid today. You're going to be giving me instructions on how to find mean absolute deviation. That's all you're going to do. Okay, now you're not going to have this on your flip chart, okay, the one that I send you, but you might want to write this stuff down. Okay, so here we go. First thing we have to do is you have to find the mean of your data. So how do I do that? Well, you come back to your data, and what we're going to do is we're going to take each one of these numbers and we're going to add them together. Okay, once we add them together, we're then going to divide that number, that amount, by, in this case, 6, because there's 6 data points. Okay, so if we were to look at that, okay, we would end up with a mean, okay, and that mean is actually 116.2. Now, I asked you to round your mean to the nearest tenth because it actually ends up with 116.1666666 and so on. Okay, and so that rounds to 116.2. Now, what we do is we write that down, the entire column. Okay, and what we're going to do is step number 2. And step number 2 is we need to find the positive difference between each data point and the mean. Okay, so the first thing we do is we find the difference. And the way we do that is we do 112 minus 116.2, 104 minus 116.2, 94 minus 116.2, and so on and so forth. And we find the difference. But what I need is the positive difference between the data value and the mean. Okay, so we take each one of these differences and we just write it down as a positive. Okay, then we have to do step number 3. And step number 3 is we have to find the mean of the differences. So what we do is we take these numbers right here, the positive difference, we add these together, and we then divide it again by 6. Okay, so if we add all these numbers together, we end up with 113.4. Now, in order to find the MAD, we're going to take this 113.4 and divide it by how many numbers we had, which in this case was 6, which gives us a mean absolute deviation of 18.9. So that's what we're going to be talking about today in our Flipgrid. So let me talk about Flipgrid. You've probably already done a Flipgrid in one of your other classes. I'm sure you have, and probably all of them. This may be the last one that you have to do for this 6 weeks. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to end up you're going to pull up your browser, okay, and you're going to go to flipgrid.com, okay, and that will bring up this website right here. Okay, so when we do that, here's what it looks like. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to click enter a join code. And now I've got join codes for each one of the classes. They are separate. They are special ones. Okay, so you're going to hit your join code, and I will send that join code to you via Google Classroom. Okay, because I don't want everybody seeing all the different codes. I only want you to be able to join your class. So you need to join the one that I send you in Google Classroom. Okay, and then what you're going to do once you're there, okay, and once you've got in there, you're going to, on that sheet of paper, you're going to write a script for me. Okay, now I would probably do the script part first. It says I want you to write a script for your Flipgrid video. Okay, what you need to do is you need to tell me, one, in your script, you need to tell me what the definition of mean absolute deviation is. Now, we've talked about that several times. Okay, we talked about that when we did mean absolute deviation, where we actually did the definition. Okay, we also talked about it on the test review, and we talked about it on the test. So I need you to look back in your notes and find what is the definition for mean absolute deviation. Okay, so you're going to, in a complete sentence, write what the definition of mean absolute deviation is. Then, in complete sentences, you're going to tell me the 3 steps that you need for finding the mean absolute deviation. Now, we just went over those, so it should be very simple to do. Okay, so I've almost told you the entire script, other than the definition. Okay, so in your Flipgrid video, let me remind you again, okay, you have to tell me the definition of mean absolute deviation, and then you have to tell me the 3 steps for finding mean absolute deviation. Okay, now once you've done that, you will then go to your Flipgrid here, join your code, okay, or hit your join code, okay, and then you're going to record your video. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. So you go here, you hit your join code, and then you're going to get this kind of scenario here. Mean absolute deviation. You're going to hit join with Google. You're going to select your account, and please make sure that you select your school account. It'll say login successful. And then what you're going to do is you will, and it gives you again the instructions right here in the Flipgrid video, instructions right here. Okay, and it says record a response, and you can click here or you can click here to do your recording. Okay, and all you will do is you will click record a response. Yes, you must have your face in the video. Okay, so you're just talking straight into your camera right off of your script. Okay, and you have 1.5 minutes in order to complete this video. Okay, that's all it is, just 1.5 minutes. That's all you have to do. Okay, so again, you have to say the definition of mean absolute deviation, and you have to tell the audience the 3 steps for finding the mean absolute deviation of a set of data. And that's all I need you to do. Now, once you've completed that, once you've written your script, okay, you will then turn your script into me. Okay, so this is part of your grade. Matter of fact, your script is 50% of your grade. The video is the other 50%. Okay, so it either needs to be typed in a Google Doc, or if you handwrite your script with complete sentences, you will attach a picture to this assignment. And that's what we're doing today. Okay, so I should see from you 2 things. I should see attached to this assignment a script, either a Google Doc that is shared with me through this assignment. Okay, don't share it to my email, share it through this assignment, or a picture of your script attached to this assignment. And then I should see inside the Flipgrid, I should see your video. And your video does need to have your face in it. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. So I will talk to you later.